On the 1st of January 1973, Britain officially joined the European Economic Community. Most people remember it as a simple trade deal, the common market. But behind the headlines, something far more profound happened. Parliament did something it had no constitutional right to do. It gave away the sovereignty that the English Bill of Rights of 1689 had placed in the hands of the British people. And it did so without asking the British people. This is the story of the greatest constitutional betrayal of modern British history. After the Glorious Revolution of 1688, Parliament drew up the English Bill of Rights in 1689. It was the document that finally ended absolute monarchy in Britain. It declared that the monarch could not suspend or dispense with laws without the consent of Parliament. It stated that levying money for the Crown without parliamentary grant was illegal. It affirmed free elections, frequent parliaments, and freedom of speech in Parliament. In doing so, it established the bedrock principle of the British Constitution: parliamentary sovereignty, not the King's sovereignty, the people's sovereignty, exercised through their elected representatives in Parliament. No foreign power, no external court, no supranational body could override the will of the British people as expressed in Parliament. That principle stood unchallenged for nearly 3 centuries. Fast forward to 1972, Prime Minister Edward Heath was determined to take Britain into the EEC. On the 17th of October 1972, Parliament passed the European Communities Act. With a simple majority, it incorporated the Treaty of Accession into UK law. Section 2 of that act did something revolutionary and, many argue, unconstitutional. It made EEC law supreme over British law. From that moment, regulations and decisions from Brussels and the European Court of Justice could override acts of the British Parliament. Parliament had bound itself and every future Parliament to a higher legal authority outside these islands. The Bill of Rights had placed sovereignty with Parliament as the voice of the people. It did not give Parliament the right to alienate that sovereignty to a foreign body without the explicit consent of the people. This was not a minor administrative change. This was a fundamental alteration of the British Constitution, the very thing the Bill of Rights had been written to protect. Yet no referendum was held, no public vote, no mandate from the British people. Just 301 MPs voting yes in a whipped vote. Edward Heath repeatedly assured the country there is no question of any erosion of essential national sovereignty. He knew the legal advice said otherwise. A secret Foreign Office report in 1971 had warned that membership would mean a gradual loss of economic sovereignty, and, in the long term, the end of independent national policy. But the public white paper and Heath's speeches told a different story. In Britain's unwritten constitution, certain changes are so profound they require more than a simple parliamentary majority. Joining the EEC transferred legislative, judicial, and executive power to institutions the British people had never elected and could never remove. That is not pooling or sharing sovereignty, it is surrendering it. The Bill of Rights had been the people's shield against arbitrary power. In 1972, Parliament used the very sovereignty the Bill of Rights had given it to remove that shield, without ever asking the people if they wanted it gone. This was not just politically controversial, it was a constitutional breach. Parliament acted as if it owned sovereignty outright, when in truth it only held it in trust for the British people. Public unease grew quickly. 1974, Harold Wilson's Labour government promised to renegotiate the terms and put the question to the people. So on the 5th of June 1975, the first national referendum in British history was held. Do you think the United Kingdom should stay in the European community, the common market? 67.2% voted yes. 32.8% voted no, on a 64.6% turnout. But here's the crucial point. The Unconstitutional Act had already happened 2 years earlier. Britain was already legally bound. The institutions were already in place. EEC law already had supremacy. The 1975 referendum was not a vote on whether to join, it was a vote on whether to accept what had already been done. The Yes campaign was massively funded and backed by the establishment. The public was told again and again that sovereignty was safe. In reality, the very next decade saw the steady transfer of more and more power to Brussels. The promise of no essential loss of sovereignty proved hollow. The English Bill of Rights of 1689 placed sovereignty where it belongs, with the British people through their Parliament. In 1972-73, Parliament gave large parts of that sovereignty away without permission. In 1975, it asked the people to rubber stamp the transfer after the fact. That sequence of events remains one of the most serious constitutional violations in modern British history. It took another referendum in 2016 for the British people to finally reclaim what had been taken from them in 1973. The lesson is simple. Sovereignty is not the government's to give away. It belongs to the people. And once it's gone, getting it back is never easy. What do you think? Was 1973 the moment Britain's constitution was broken? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and hit the bell for more hidden chapters of British history.